Socially radical. Socially radical. Socially radical. Socially radical. Socially radical. Guitarist.
I know you're tired, you've been running my mind. I seen all the red flags, I'm ignoring the signs. Where it lead me, I don't wanna go. Thinking how it couldn't be, Lord, say it ain't so. No, no, you don't look me in my eyes no more. You don't even smile the same when we in photos, case closed. You don't look me in my eyes no more. You don't even smile the same when we in photos, case closed. I tell you how I feel at the wrong time. Why you thinking that it's all lies? We way more connected when we offline. I see the pain in your eyes, it's something I don't know. I tell you how I feel at the wrong time. Why you thinking that it's all lies? We way more connected when we offline. I see the pain in your eyes, it's something I don't know. So what's the deal for real? You want some other shit? Got a feeling I ain't the only one you share covers with. My mind playing tricks, give me something to believe in. But thinking like this, I got a couple reasons. Now I got trust issues cause of you and the fear being used. I was bruised in my youth, making peace with the past. I don't need no extra bags, I'ma leave it where it's at. This all go back to. You don't look me in my eyes no more. You don't even smile the same when we in photos, case closed. You don't look me in my eyes no more. You don't even smile the same when we in photos, case closed. I tell you how I feel at the wrong time. Why you thinking that it's all lies? We way more connected when we offline. I see the pain in your eyes, it's something I don't know. I tell you how I feel at the wrong time. Why you thinking that it's all lies? We way more connected when we offline. I see the pain in your eyes, it's something I don't.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Socially Radical Guitarist. Song just played was Something I Don't Know by another guest in a row. We've got two guests in a row. This one is Cam. He's a rapper slash musician from Texas. Hello, Cam.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. Before we begin, I just want to ask, like, there are a lot of things that people say about Texas,
Okay.
especially, being Black from Texas. Is it like what they say? Like, how is it? How is it over there?
Well, what have you heard? I guess that's the next question.
That it is, like, in the city, it's kind of okay. But then when you go out to the countryside, they're almost places that are like no-go zones. Like my brother, he's joking about the countryside being no-go zones for him. So I was wondering about that. Is that?
I mean, I think it's no different in any state, any country you live. You know, there's certain places you can go, certain places you can't go. You know, the vibe of the people. I would say in them small towns, that's the small towns what you got to be weary about. That's where you're gonna see a lot of Confederate flags and all that. Oh, can we cuss?
Um, I did. Oh yeah, actually, I got to remember to put the disclaimer. So when I put the disclaimer, anything that I say or my guests say on this show are the respective opinions of the host of the guests. They have nothing to do with Radio Waterloo or any of its subsidiaries or affiliates. So
Okay.
yes, go ahead, say it how you want to say it.
Shit, bitch, motherfucker. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, it really just depends on where you go. I would say those little towns, that is where it gets a little shaky. You could kind of feel a certain vibe, you get certain looks, but you know, it just all depends where you at. Know where you at.
Okay. So did you grow up in Texas or
Yes, I am born and raised. I was born in Dallas. I grew up in Arlington, Grand Prairie, and that's really been about it. I go to Dallas here and there. My mom lives out in Dallas. She lives with my stepdad and my little brother. So I frequent Dallas, Oak Cliff area here and there, and Duncanville. So just the DFW Metroplex is super big, and there's a whole bunch of little towns. So I've been in just about every part of it.
wow. So this is your hometown, your base of operations.
Yeah, you know, hey,
That's
I'm
crazy.
here.
So how'd you start making music? How'd you start rapping? What got you into it? What inspired you?
How I got into it, I would definitely say it it stemmed from my dad because growing up, I actually did not like rap music. Funny enough, I used to I lived with my mom, so my mom was not having that shit. She was not letting me listen to nothing with curse words. I was, you know, singing some rap songs, the popular stuff, but she really wasn't having it. She didn't like me repeating a simple song on the radio that's like in my white tee, I slang in my. She didn't want none of that. But my dad owned a music store, and so every time my dad would pick me up, he'd always be like, you know, like that's kind of how me and my dad bonded. He would pick me up and be like, "Oh, guess what I got? It'll be some new music, a song that doesn't come out until years later, or not years later, but a couple months later." And my dad, he he had this music store up until I was like 23. That's when, you know, the music business changed from CDs to streaming strictly. And he used to do in stores. So people like J. Cole or Wiz Khalifa, Lloyd Banks, you know, like as they were bubbling up, I would be able to meet them personally. So I think that's what kind of like piqued my interest. And obviously, as I got older, you know, started doing my own, looking into different types of music that caught my ear. And you know, now we're here.
Wow. So which rappers would you say inspire you the most?
The most, like at this moment, or just in
Like
general,
which
my
ones do
life.
you think really would you say influence your music the most?
Oh, okay. I would definitely say Kanye. I would say Kid Cudi, but at the same time, I don't really even categorize Kid Cudi as a rapper. But I'm gonna say Kid Cudi. I'm gonna say Pharrell, Lil Wayne. Um, damn, that's really about it. That's really about it. Yeah. Common. Hold
Wow.
on. That no, not a lot of people give Common his flowers. Common go hard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that is definitely an interesting list. Your music sounds a lot more like Common than those other ones.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Well.
that's what I would say.
All
But
right. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. Um, so like, what space were you in when you were making something? I don't know. Like what that particular song? Like, what inspired you? What were you feeling at the moment?
You know, well, I know you're the socially radical guitarist, correct?
Yes.
So I was as of late, like last year, I took guitar lessons, and I've been playing the guitar since I was 19. And like I said, last year I took guitar lessons. Everything else was self-taught. So last year I was really trying to buckle down and understand the guitar completely, or as much as I wanted to know how. I just feel like the biggest thing I was missing was chords, and I wanted to try to make chord progressions and shit. And when I made that song specifically, it was really all spur of the moment. At the time, I was listening to a bunch of Red Hot Chili Peppers, where I love their album Californication. That's what Something I Don't Know sounds like to me. Sounds like a Red Hot Chili Pepper song. And when I was making the beat, I didn't know what I wanted to say on it. It was like as I was making it, I was just thinking up lyrics on the spot. And I mean, I wasn't at a low point when I made it, but that song kind of brought that energy out of me, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay, okay,
So it
yeah.
was one of those like damn, this song makes me feel like I just got, because the song is about, you like, it's about being in a relationship, and the relationship is coming to an end, but the person is trying to hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why there's some lyrics in there like I tell you how I feel at the wrong time. Why are you thinking that it's all lies? It's like me telling someone, oh man, you're the best. I love you, such and such, but the other person is like, I don't deserve you. You're too good for me. And it just makes it's just like that psychology type of deal. Like you're like, well, damn, why are you telling me you don't deserve a good person? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like what I've noticed is that there's in the few uh songs where you have the guitar, you're really putting your emotion into your lyrics, and
Mhm.
it seems like it's coming from a different place. Is it just the guitar makes you feel more emotional? What's going on there?
Damn, that's an interesting question. I guess, and the proof is in the pudding. If that's what you're getting from the art, then that is what it is. But I would say definitely, because the guitar, it's one of those instruments that it evokes emotion. Like the fucking Isley brothers, Alex Isley, like it made
Yeah.
Ron Isley sound great. You know what I'm saying? It made Jimi Hendrix. He wasn't the best singer, but it's like his guitar was singing with him. You know what I'm saying? Even guitarists like John Mayer, like he's not the best singer, but the guitar, like your voice is an instrument, your guitar is an instrument, but you can make the guitar sing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was really trying to focus on with this album, and making a lot more songs that were guitar oriented to evoke that type of emotion from me.
Mm, that's interesting. And as a guitarist, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, yeah.
um, like how were you received by your fans on live shows? How long have you performed live, and what was your first live show like?
How am I perceived when I do live performances? I think I've definitely gotten to a good space where I'm not too much in my head when I perform. So this last show that I had in November, that was probably my best show to date. Like I had a lot of friends and family come up. I mean, a lot of friends and family came out. I feel like I caught attention of new people that were there, who were just like, yo, who the fuck is this? Like they were really enjoying me. And you said, what was my first performance like? My first performance was cringy. I think I was up there like, I mean, you can obviously hear in the songs I sing, what I like to say is I can find the melody. I can't really sing. So on my first ever show, I was really up there trying to sing, and I know it kind of went left. But I mean, it's just when I get on stage personally, it's like when I make it past the first song, I don't have any feelings anymore. Like I'm not in my head about it anymore, because I'm like, I made it to the first song. Fuck it, I'm up here. Like let me just, like this is me now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, getting comfortable is after, especially on the first show, was the challenge.
Yes.
I remember when I was playing live with my siblings.
Hmm.
Uh, at some point, we had forgotten what the next song on the set list was, and we were arguing
Yeah.
with each other. And we were and the good thing was we had an easy audience. it was
Yeah.
people that our age, even younger. They
Yeah.
were like 6, 5, 7 years old kids, and they were like, "Oh, so what are you gonna play next?" It's like we're trying to figure that out right now.
It's
You're
like, hey,
like,
yo,
what's that?
hold on. Let me talk to my brother real quick. That's when, and like, and so similar to that, when my first performance was with one of my friends, and it was like when like he forgot a word in his verse, and we just looked at each other like, oh shit, we're performing. This is not a rehearsal. So I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, yeah. Very, very, very silly moment, but we got
Yeah.
much better right after that. That was a very good thing. So like how do you feel your career is going? Do you feel there are areas of improvement for you? And is it really just a stage where you really want to promote this phase 2 album?
I feel like my career is definitely advancing. I think with this project, I think this project is doing exactly what I wanted it to do, and that is to show people that I'm taking this serious, that I am this, it is, music is a passion. It can be looked at as a hobby, but it's my biggest thing is I want to, I want to feed myself off this. I want to be financially stable off of my art. So to answer your question, I feel like my career it's going. There's always room for improvement. At the moment, it's me funding a lot of this. So of course I can't do everything all day. I gotta go to work, and even while I'm at work, that's when I'm thinking of melodies. Sometimes I'm thinking of raps. I'm thinking of of how I want to promote the album. With this album phase 2, something I understood about all my other projects is that, like, being in the music business, I'm selling art. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm selling, I don't want to say I'm selling myself. I'm not selling myself, but it's, like, you got to make the product. You got to make the product. You got to show people the product. You got to show your face. You got to be engaged. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to push this project as much as I can, because I understand that that's what a lot of these artists do. Like, they drop an album, they do promo for like 4 months, and then they go back to the studio. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something I've understood studying the game, and I'm really trying to apply that with this project, regardless of how many people it reaches. Like, I'm trying to, do as much marketing as I can, do interviews like this. It doesn't. If I reach 2 people, that's 2 new people. I look at it like that. I'm not mad at it. So.
Okay, all right, that's good. So the album, I noticed it was released under Don's Son. Is that like a family independent label release kind of thing? Is that your release? Are you
It's
self-released?
it's self-released. That's a, when I work out all the kinks, I would love for that to be like the company name. So I'm already putting it into the universe. Like, that's what all of my projects will be under from this moment. Don's Son Incorporated, because, my mom's name is Dawn. I'm her first son. So it's like Don's Son, double entendre type thing. I thought it was
Okay.
pretty ill. So
How does your mom feel about it? I know she didn't like the idea of you even listening to this. Now that
oh
you're
oh
playing it, what does she think?
I think she's definitely become much more accepting of the fact that I want to take this music thing as far as possible. Funny enough, my mom has been to all my shows, and I'll be up on stage and I'll be cussing, but sometimes I try to keep it like PG-13 for I don't want to go too crazy with the curse words, because mom's is right there. But she's very supportive. My mom is very, very supportive. Like, sometimes I call her usually every Sunday. So when I call her, if she's like, "Oh, what you do today?" "Oh, I just left the studio." "Oh, how was the studio? How'd it go?" So my mom is cool in that aspect. She's definitely had a hand into why I love music, different types of music, as much as my dad. So it's like, I don't think I would make music if it wasn't for having both of them in my life, for sure.
Yeah, my mom, she really hated the cussing too, and eventually, I think eventually at one point, maybe when I was like 15, 16,
Mhm.
she kind of finally came up and told me what it was about. Um, she had said, we had people out on the farm, and they worked on the farm. They didn't even own the farm. We owned the
Uh-huh.
farm. They didn't. They worked on the farm, and you kind of talk like those people. So
Me?
after that, I ended up cursing even more, and then she finally just let it go.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So, but you know what? You know what? She also became, she's been very accepting, and she's been watching every episode.
Yeah, see,
This
and that's what it's
it's a
all
very
about.
radical perspective, and she still loves it. So she,
Yeah,
like, your mom will always support you. That's the good thing.
facts.
Yeah.
Facts. She's always in your corner. Mom. Shout out to moms. All the moms watching this. We do it for y'all.
That's great. So the song that we're gonna have coming up, it's of course it's camp song. It's June 26th. Can you give us a little taste of what you were thinking when you were writing that song?
The song June 26th, it was, I guess you could kind of say it was from a low point. It's almost like it's like trying to like that self-talk of bigging yourself up. Like, rain or shine, I'm coming for what's mine. I ain't wasting time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that type of determination. Like, every day you wake up is another chance to go and get it. Like my guy 2 Chainz said, it's another day we gotta get it. You woke up this morning, you winning. Go do what you're supposed to do. And that's what this song really embodies to me. Like I said, rain and shine, I'm coming for what's mine.
Yeah.
I ain't wasting time. It's self-explanatory, and I hope that this song, I hope that people catch that emotion from the song.
Yeah. I mean, it does. There is a lot of determination in it. I actually noticed that in the lyrics, it seemed like you felt the sort of awkwardness growing up. Is that true? Was that what was going on with
I
you?
think yes, I definitely did. I definitely did because I would get the stigma of, I talk too proper, or something as silly as I got long eyelashes, or I was short, or I was into skateboarding while everybody else was growing up watching football all day. Like I was listening to rock music early, before it became a wave of RIP of the Juice Worlds and Trippie Redd. Before this lifestyle was really really embraced, it was like I grew up and I was an outsider, so I would kind of be feeling like, well, damn, like, I look like you. Why are you treating me differently? It's like, I don't know. I kind of viewed it as almost like a self-hate type thing, and I was like, but as I got older, I understood, like, everybody isn't into everything else that you're into, number one. And number two, like, you can't take it too personally. Like, regardless, at the end of the day, or the biggest thing I would say, there's an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I'm sure, did you watch Fresh Prince?
Oh man, I think we've seen every
So you
episode at
probably
least 3, 4 times, man. Yeah.
you probably know the episode I'm gonna talk about is when Will and Carlton were pledging to be in a fraternity, and they were hazing Carlton terribly. And they weren't doing it to Will. And Will was like, "Why y'all treat my cousin like that?" And he was the dude was like, "Man, he uppity. He's not like us." Da 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 da. And then when Carlton heard that, he was like, "Why are you tripping me up? We're running the same race, regardless of how I act. I look like you look like me, skin wise, and they see that. So if you're blocking me, you're not uplifting your people. You are part of the problem as well." And when I saw that episode, like, it hit me deeply. I think I watched that shit when I was like 14 or 15. So it like really struck a chord. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like artists like Pharrell and Kid Cudi and Kanye, even Tyler the Creator, because I could tell they had a similar upbringing, in that sense of, you're not for us, but at the same time, it's like, Kid Cudi inspired a black kid like me. So I want to do the same for another black kid in fucking Iowa. You know what I'm saying? Or Dakota. You know, like a random place like that.
Well, you know what? If there are things that a black child can and can't do, places where he can and can't go, and music that he can and can't like, then all of that marching in the 60s was for nothing.
True.
It really
Facts.
was for nothing.
Facts.
And you're going to have to do a lot more to change things.
Yeah, you got to break down these walls.
Yes. Especially, there's a wall around your state. What do you think of that one?
There's a wall around the state. I mean, it's it's the border. I mean, hey, I'm not big into politics and stuff like that. I'm gonna stay away from that question. Next question.
All
Phase
right.
2 out now.
All right. We'll keep it about guitar. We'll keep it about guitar and about the music.
Okay.
That's the guitar segment, not the political segment. You're not a political guest. Don't worry. You know, just one final message that you want to give to, you know, Canadian audiences or you know, in America that are listening to the, I guess, the Instagram stream. I mean, just anything you want to say as a final message to potential fans.
That number one, first and foremost, be yourself at all times. Be you. They're gonna look at you funny. They're gonna talk about you. And it is okay. Everybody has their own opinion, but your opinion is the one that matters. Yours. Because who looks in the mirror every day, every night, when you go to the bathroom, all that shit. Love yourself. That is the most important. Number two, don't let nobody tell you you can't do anything. You measure your own success. You know, you got to be your biggest uplifter. You got to be your motivational speaker. You could look to other people to get that validation, but at the end of the day, it will not always be there. And number three, phase 2 out now, available everywhere you can stream music. This is a wonderful musical experience. I produced 80% of it. There's only 2 songs I didn't produce, but if you go to my Bandcamp, you can find a version that I produced entirely. You can donate or you do not have to donate. It's free to listen to. And you know, do what you love and do it for the love. Don't do it because it's an easy cash grab. Money is money and it comes and goes. You're gonna have money. As long as you got a plan, you're gonna have money. Do what you love every day. And that's what I gotta say to people. And once again, I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to talk my shit. Because this is my first, like I said, this is my first interview that I've ever given. And it was pleasant. I appreciate
you. Yeah. Well, thanks. I appreciate the love. Now I did say that was going to be the final question, but I do want to know, where do you work? Where do you work?
I am actually let me get in my professional bag. I am a I'm a behavioral therapist. So I work with kids on the spectrum, and I work on replacing behaviors. And you know, it's, you know, some days are tough, some days are nice and smooth, but it's very fulfilling. I went to school and studied psychology because I've always been interested in human behavior. So I feel like I'm actually using my degree, number one, and I feel like I really am. I'm contributing to a change, and that's what it's all. That's the whole. That's another aspect of why I even make music. Like, I'm contributing to change. Like, I'm trying to push some encouragement, and it's the same thing I do with my kiddos. Like, I do my best to push them. Sometimes they have tantrums and things could go left, but as long as you stay cool, calm, and collected, which is easier said than done. But as long as you stay cool, calm, and collected, you will achieve your goals. And once again, to try to break down that barrier of misunderstanding autistic spectrum disorder, because even before I started this job, I didn't completely understand what it was until I saw it firsthand. So it's very interesting. Once again, very fulfilling. I'm blessed to be in this position that I'm in, and yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So the rapper of the people, he works for the people on the regular. So,
The boy.
yes. Be sure to give more listens to Spotify. I think 5,000 for an album like this is a crime. So please give
Hey,
that
I
support.
appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. So June 26th, and then after that we'll have the political segment. So listen to the song. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
All right.
Most underrated and unappreciated, complex and complicated on a daily basis. That's just another day in my life. The pressure rolled and I always keep the pressure applied. Remember when niggas ain't want me to win, but I'm in it till the end. Follow my heart, I see they follow trends. They ain't get the rhetoric, knew I was way ahead of them. That was once upon a time when I wouldn't show my gifts, but now I'm generous. Do it for the quiet kids who wasn't accepted. I got you covered like eyelids. It's the confidence for me. Watch just how I masterpiece in the process to become a masterpiece. Never claimed to be from the streets. I always been me. Move to my own beat. Give a fuck what you think is really real. Who else pull up on them Pirellis? Find my groove. Now that ain't about shit that you could tell me, bitch. Rain or shine, know I'm coming for what's mine. Got too much up on the line, but these hoes don't waste my time. I ain't settling for less than what I owe. Oh, I want it all, talking everything and more. We gon' keep rolling till the wheels fall off. Using every second I got on the shot clock till my heartbeat drop. I'ma keep working toward the goal. The dream free, but the game is separately sold. Oh, stuck in my old ways, out here on my old shade. The world is mine, 817 my domain. Been an outcast way before I heard Andre. What's understood don't gotta be explained. This my second phase, no off days. Steady working with a purpose. Sophisticated ignorance, write my curses in cursive, bitch. Seeing through your lies, even with closed eyes. Keep it frank, I'm shameless, every moment is showtime. No thug, but I ain't no punk. Whole gang living Gucci, but there's no little pump. Remember back then, hoes put up a front. Nowadays the music get the shit popping like trunks. And these dunk low SBs is a genius personified. I'm thinking out of the box, but y'all be out of line. Never idolize the counterfeit, make a nigga sick. How I kill my shit, this beautiful penmanship. Rain or shine, know I'm coming for what's mine. Got too much up on the line, but these hoes don't waste my time. I ain't settling for less than what I owe. Oh, I want it all, talking everything and more. We gon' keep rolling till the wheels fall off. Using every second I got on the shot clock till my heartbeat drop. I'ma keep working toward the goal. The dream free, but the game is separately sold. Oh.
Welcome back to Socially Radical Guitarist. Song you heard just now was June 26 from the album Phase 2 from our guest, Cam. So make sure you give that album a listen. 2,000 listens, unacceptable. It's a very, very good album. A lot of soul and emotion and authenticity in the lyrics from someone who's, trained, educated in understanding the human mind. So, very, very good album, very valuable for our community. Have that promoted, so please promote it. Now let's talk about this coup, this ongoing coup going on in Ottawa. The January 6th Light Canadian Coors Light beer version. Let's let's talk about it. I know that they had a Métis woman show up on the stage as a prop. That's kind of what they did, uh, and had their demands out, and publicly they're asking for Trudeau to lift the restrictions, the freedom hurting restrictions. Unfortunately, when you actually look at the document, because the general excuses for all of the abuse being done, the Nazi flags being shown, the Confederate flag being shown, the swastikas being drawn in the Canadian flag, they want to say that those are just bad apples or agent provocateurs trying to smear the movement. And that's why they had the Métis woman up as a prop in order to give everybody that impression. Now, I'm not one to say that the indigenous community is a monolith, just like African community isn't a monolith. Everybody will have their own perspective on issues. Some will be more conservative, some will be more liberal. The ones that I generally criticize are the ones that are clearly arguing in favor of their own class interests. Those are the ones that I unashamedly call house Negroes. And as a Marxist, you're supposed to be fighting on the side of the working class and organizing a political movement against the ruling class. So giving that language to describe betraying basically the cause of the struggle of national oppression in favor of your own class interests, that's the language to describe it. And that's why I say these things. But, incidentally, that lady was used as such a prop. And let's, go back to what's happening here with Canada Unity, or whatever this is. Canada Unity, their memorandum of understanding. Incidentally, they haven't been able to get 1 million signatures for this. You'd think that they would have had at least 800,000 with all the people that voted for the People's Party of Canada, but they're short. And it doesn't look like it's moved for a few days. So let's just look at it. What they want. So the memorandum of understanding, it's interesting to know who's supposed to sign it. It's concerned Canadian citizens, Indigenous communities, and permanent residents, which includes employers, employees from private and government bodies, institutions, and businesses at large. So, yes, represented by Canada Unity, the organization. And who they want on the other end is the Senate of Canada, the President, 105 honorable senators, and the Governor General of Canada. So there's no prime minister here, and that's the one that was actually elected. The two people here are unelected bodies, unelected Senate, unelected Governor General. So the memorandum of understanding is already problematic just based on that. Then you have obligation and cooperation, and then the mandate. So, of course, you hear, get rid of all of the mandates and restrictions on vaccination and the control measures, the piecemeal control measures that the provincial governments have done to try to end the pandemic. I mean, they weren't really trying to end the pandemic. But but anyways, this is what they're whining about. And then when you look at it closely, um, you realize that they're actually asking for the Senate and the government and the Governor General to cooperate in good faith to uphold the matters. So, in other words, in perpetuity, they're supposed to be checking to make sure that the mandates are removed by force. This is a coup. This is a document asking for a coup. A coup against constitutional government in Canada. Which segues into what recently happened with Salam Debs, a local business owner and activist talking about racial issues in Waterloo. Waterloo, right here, where they also did the convoy BS. You see, some of these posts, let's just read out what these crackers had to say. I mean, unbelievable stuff. First one, named himself, and then the email, you're a fucking soulless cunt at gmail.com. Can't wait to cut off your dreads, you cunt. Okay. There we go. Stupid bitch. You're a stupid fucking nigger. Dumb bitch. Shut your fucking mouth about us Western Europeans. We enjoy our freedoms, and if you don't know about, you go back to that shithole Africa. Bitch ass coward. And that's you guys. And I posted that and called them crackers, and incidentally, the oversight board, the white gowns over at the trustees, the white gown trustees, took it down and said that I had violated hate speech rules. But that war, you can see it on the Facebook page. You can also see it on Instagram. But that's not really important. What kind of illuminates about this movement is it's a right-wing fascist movement, and it's trying to do a coup. That's it. There's no debate. Any black guy that was up there, I'm talking about you, Serge, thinking that these guys were safe to have around your children. Actually, secretly, they wanted to cut off your kids' dreads and ship them back to Africa and call you a nigger right to your face, but they couldn't do it. You had to be a prop for them. So that's the truth. That's what these guys are. This is what this is. I'm going to, make a conscious effort in following episodes to highlight black women's contributions to Western proletarian culture. This is supposed to be our month, and yet this happens to a member of our community. I mean, when you give us a token gesture, at least, make sure that it's wrapped in a nice present. Don't wrap it up in in swastikas and do a coup. Try a coup. What is that? Yeah, and going to Cam, like as bad as this country is, there's never been anywhere where I felt it was a no-go zone. Even in like a reserve, all you have to do is ask permission. But I've never really felt like there was really a no-go zone. That's a very strange thing to be happening. Like places like that have been very few in history. Like Nazi Germany, for example, maybe Italy, fascist Italy. Yeah, like that's not normal. That doesn't generally happen. I mean, of course, actually, the social democratic Denmark countries have a 30% quota. I mean, as you're not over capacity for for black people and racialized people and Arabs, as long as you're under the quota, you can be in any neighborhood. But if you're over the quota, then no. I mean, and that's the model for social democrats, racist countries like that. But at least like they're allowing some people in. I mean, no go zones. That's a very strange thing. And I showed respect to Camp for not talking about politics, but yeah, just wanted to have that caveat out there. Um, Cam, if you're listening, you know, just something to note, something to think about. But yeah, you've lived in it. You understand it better than I do. But very strange to me. Very strange to me. Now, yeah, this is cool. This is a cool. No excuses. Stop trying to say that this is something else. It's a coup. Like, this is a right-wing, racist, fascist coup. That's it. That is the statement. That is what we have to understand about this, because there's no rationale and no justification for it. Like these guys wanting why isn't the prime minister in a single document? In their memorandum of understanding, in their little demand. And another thing to note is that some of these fascists are from the U.S. because the whole thing started because of truckers protesting against having to be vaccinated, going back and forth between countries. And, what happened to border sovereignty? You guys were whining about border sovereignty. What happened? Sovereignty between two countries, deciding the terms on which you go in and come out. It'd be one thing if you were refugees and you had to do a regular border crossing. That's actually protected under international law. But you're just truckers. 84% of you are vaccinated. And why can't you just... If you know your job is to work from different countries, you respect the terms of those different countries. The country going this way, country going back. This virus has killed almost 6 million people. And you want to pretend that there's nothing going on? And then you say it's about freedom, but your demand is to have an unelected governor general and an unelected Senate prepare a panel to check, unelected panel, by the way, to check to see if the prime minister and the premiers are lifting and removing all of the mandates, which don't exist, by the way. There's no mandate. There's no law saying that you have to, by law, get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, you can choose not to get vaccinated. But you shouldn't be mandating for another country to accept you under that condition, according to rules of sovereignty. So what happened to that? Yeah. What happened to the rules of sovereignty? So they don't respect sovereignty. They want an unelected governor general to basically initiate an arbitrary enforcement of a lift of all so-called mandates. There's no mandate. Why should a business have to accept sick or transmitting COVID people going into their business and them risk getting sued? What happened to their freedom, the freedom of property? And why does this have to be done by an unelected governor general and an unelected Senate? You guys whining about freedom are asking for an absolute monarchist dictatorship and doxing a black woman, saying you want to cut off her dreads. Like this is Canada. Welcome everybody to Canada. Like we're approaching the final season, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary individuals, buckle up, because we're approaching the final season of the settler colonial satire. And with that, we're going to close the show with McClenney as we approach the end. The end of the show and the end of the satire. So stay tuned for McClenney as he does his song On You from the album On a Virgo Mind. And we're going to listen to that song after the outro, and then that'll be the end of the show. We'll see you next week. Just while I'm sleeping, steal from my dreaming.
all of my reasons. Say to me what you need from me. Nothing left to say to you if I only sang the same songs. But it's just where we at, trying to make the room just so I can bloom. If I never do, it's all you. Nothing left to say to you if I only sang the same songs. But it's just where we at, trying to make the room just so I can bloom. If I never do, it's all you. What am I to you? Just another to you. Take another from me. Nothing left to dream, only left fun. Only one song. Say to me what you need from me. Nothing left to say to you if I only sang the same songs. But it's just where we at, trying to make the room just so I can bloom. If I never do, it's all you. Nothing left to say to you if I only sang the same songs. But it's just where we at, trying to make the room just so I can bloom. If I never do, it's all you.